So this is probably going to be a tricky thing to comment on. So what we have here is something called DC games. And what this is effectively kind of like a game creation system, but specifically for games that play like the Ultima games. So there's a lot of complexity to it. There's a lot of simplifications as well. And thankfully, it comes with a built-in, well, not built-in, but it comes with a pre-made sample game, which actually has quite a lot to it. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to show the sample game first, and then we'll dive into the world builder to see some of how this works. The only unfortunate part is that a lot of this thing is actually script-based, so not really much to show with a whole bunch of scripts. But in any case, I actually forget how to start this thing. I'm pretty sure it's an exe file. Yeah, DC play to play the built-in, or I keep saying built-in. DC play to play the sample world, DC world to load the sample world. And like, I'm not entirely certain how it differentiates between different worlds, just by the way this seems to be developed, but we're just going to go into the play mode here. It's going to load up the graphics. Now, the funny thing here is that, oh, it says it's resuming from when I was testing earlier. Okay, I didn't want it to resume. I wanted to actually start over. Okay, there is a restart key, so F6 is restart. Do you really want to restart? Yes. Oh, but that just restarts us with the same character. Okay, I'm a little perplexed by the fact that this game has multiple save slots. In fact, it has save slots from 1 all the way up to 999, but you can't just switch save slots. And if you go to restart, it just restarts the current save slot, which means you can't create a new character for yourself or anything. So, like, what is even the point then? Okay, so there's a batch file here called clean, which seems to delete save data, so maybe this will allow us to start things over here. So now we go to DC play, and now will it allow us to actually... Okay, now it's actually starting as if I'd never run it before. And you can hear music too. This example game was created using the DC Games Adventure and Role-Playing Game Builder. It should be used as a place to test your ideas for your own games and to get familiar with the features of the game system. Free to modify, extend, copy, duplicate. Yeah. So basically, the way that, even though this is a shareware thing, it's fully featured. The trick is that you can't really add your own content in terms of like graphics and stuff without the tools provided in the full registered program. So if you're only using the shareware version of the program, you're kind of limited to the tiles and stuff that are provided with it. Okay, and then continuing on here, this is a sample adventure built using the Graphics Adventure Game Builder from DC Software. It is intended to be used as a basis for experimentation, and you are welcome and indeed encouraged to make changes to it. Keep the original zip files in a safe place just in case you need to restore the files. And the story is short and simple. The gang is missing. Your job is to find him. Main purpose is to provide an example of an adventure written with the system. So hit space to continue. Hello, fellow adventurers. It's a simple adventure. You start off as a young being, human, elf, dwarf, wizard, archer, or fighter. Yeah, that's something we'll get into in a moment. Armed with your father's old sword and a little money, you decide to go make your fortune. Your friend, Jimmy? Shouldn't that be friend? How do you typo D versus T? Your friend Jimmy always said he'd go with you if you decided to go. It never hurts to ask. Seemed to recall that his older brother left some better weapons before he joined the King's Navy. This are uncertain times. There is a rumor that the king has been missing for several weeks and no one knows where he is. There's some idea. You might go to the king's palace and offer your services to the queen. Happy adventuring. Okay, and now we get to create our character. So it's a little weird how all of this works, especially since we can move the cursor to some of these stats, but we can't actually change all of them. Like, it says we have 25 points left, but we're not allowed to directly adjust the AC, luck, or charisma. Like, they just start at 0, so... Anyways, the arrow keys let us select options here, and then plus and minus let us cycle between the various offerings of sprites or adding and subtracting stats. And yeah, for classes, because you don't select race, you select class. But the class can be either human, elf, dwarf, wizard, archer, or fighter. Which, yeah, it's a little confused. Anywho, we'll go with human and put in our own name there. And then we have our stats here. So strength is, damage that you deal in combat and also how much you can carry. Speed basically affects the sort of turn order in a sense, plus the ability to get extra hits on your opponents. Dexterity affects how easily you dodge attacks. Aim is how accurate your attacks are. Hit points, kind of obvious. IQ deals with bonuses when you level up. So not necessarily spell stuff, and power deals with spell stuff. Okay, so I can give myself a good bit of strength here, get some speed, get some dex, bring the aim up quite a bit. Is that enough hit points? So I'm probably not going to get a chance to use magic. Actually, I'm going to decrease those two and put those into hit points. Okay, that should be good enough. So we hit F10, and now we're into the game world. We start off with 100 gold. We are carrying 10 weight with a max of 60. You'll also notice that there is food in this game, and there's also silver as opposed to gold. And we have a mouse cursor for interacting with things. Generally, the way it works with the mouse cursor is right-click is look, and left-click is use. And then we have other actions down here as well for resting, going into places, and they all have shortcut keys, which you can bring up with the F1 key there. And yeah, this particular item we started with is just a money pouch. So you can, or gold sack, or pouch, or whatever. But the idea is that you can actually store gold in it if you want to. Like, I mean, I don't want to, so we're just going to leave that as it is. But if we go into here, this is our house, or home. Whatever. So the way this game system works is very much like Ultima, or kind of like Excelsior as well, or those other games that are like that. Definitely more inspired by Ultima, especially given when this came out. But it has interesting interactions here. Like right now, there's a dining table in our way. Or if we go in here, cupboard in your way, stove in your way. So it does have some interactions for when you run into certain things, but not everything. And if we go to, say, look at something, we see a dining table, we see a cupboard, we see a stove. But if we go to, say, look at this, you see nothing. So it's not like everything has interactions. But then we also have that chest up there. But you'll notice that if we go, it's 1 a.m. Why is it like the dead of night? What's the shortcut for resting? Oh no, wait, it's camp, C. And we get a Windows sound effect. Okay, not quite expecting that. So now it's 10:22. It doesn't actually show you the current time of day on screen anywhere, which is kind of annoying. So we got that chest there, but if we try to interact with it, it doesn't like do anything. So we have to use the chest, I believe. So use chest. It is not locked. Okay, so do we open it then? Do we have an open key? We have a get key, so get the chest. Yep, and we got 1 gold piece. But you'll see there's still other stuff on the ground. So get more stuff, got 100 gold pieces, so we're up to 201 now. Got a small sword, got some armor. Okay, and then if we click on these things, we can equip the small sword, which doesn't actually like tell us how powerful it is, which is kind of annoying. Because if we equip the armor, it tells us it's 2 AC that we got from that armor there. And then over here, there's a well, a water well in your way, but we can't get anything from the well. In fact, if we try to pick it up, it says you are not strong enough to carry it. Which is kind of hilarious. I was like, you tried to pick up the well? Really? And also, right nearby is the town. And the town's name is Ibza. And I believe their weaponsmith is right over there. We can look at this sign. Weapons galore. Lifetime warranty on all swords. Well, that's good, because not exactly in the mood for a game with weapon durability right now. And then if we go to talk to this guy, we can buy, sell, identify, talk, or buy. And the thing here is that you can talk to NPCs. And then the idea is you can put in particular keywords. And if the NPC happens to have a response to that keyword, they'll say something in response. But like, I mean, this particular NPC, I don't think they have any responses. So when you're done talking to someone, you just say bye. And then we can talk to them again, because I actually do want to buy something from the store here. Because I was doing some testing earlier and figured out that the weapon it starts you with is incredibly underpowered for the way the combat system works. So I would like something a bit stronger. I mean, I guess we could try a two-handed sword. So, sold. 1 two-handed sword for 12 gold pieces. Okay, so let us equip that. Have to remove the small sword first. I can do that. Actually, maybe if we look around, we can actually get some better armor too. But I'm not entirely certain what else there is here. We got a cafe. Today's special, white potions, probably for healing. Joe's Pub, the best beer in town, the only beer in town. I find it interesting that some of the words actually have like underlines to them. The doctor is in, so it must be like a hospital or something. Got some NPCs over here, but again, don't know what to ask about. It says, I am Rosie, how may I help you? Help me? I don't know anything about that. I guess I'll just make do with the armor we've got right now and the two-handed sword. So let's move around a bit. See if we can... Well, there's already a place there. Let's see if we can get an encounter going of some kind. Because, yeah, it works very similarly to Ultima in that when you're walking around, enemies can sort of show up at random. Although, so far, it's not giving us any enemy encounters. When I was testing this earlier, this happened a heck of a lot faster. Oh, there we go. Red alert, we got something coming at us. It's I did not add that red alert sound, by the way. The game did that entirely on its own. Anyways, we got a dragon, hostile, weapon, claws, damage 2, range 1, and then a whole bunch of other stats, which is weird. Also, what the heck? Why does it say I have 10,000 gold all of a sudden? That can't be right. I don't know when that happened. I just glanced over and suddenly saw 10,000 gold. Okay, so let's fight this dragon here. So let's pass some turns. Dragon's smart. Okay, there it goes. So we will... Actually, I think all you do is just move into an enemy and there's someone standing here. Oh no, you do actually have to attack. So, attack. Dragon. Did 15 points of damage. It's still hurting me. And then both of us missed. And I am already dead. Well, you hear a soft... Everything is dark. You hear a soft, faraway voice. You shall have a second chance. Find your destiny. You wake disoriented and confused. Where? Oh, back here. And I still got all my stuff. And supposedly 10,000 gold. Up, and that dragon's still there. Can we actually get rid of this dragon? Yeah, having a dragon go after your player this early in the game seems like an incredibly bad idea. I guess this is something we can look into when we actually go into the build functionality to see how exactly we ended up with a dragon fight this early. Oh, wait, I think I actually, like, ran out of lives or something. Cause yeah, it totally threw me out of the game now. Although, funnily enough, when I restarted the game, it actually put me back to this situation right here. So I guess for now, maybe we'll just sort of evade the dragon if we can. Go into the... Or no, wait, we have to actually escape battle first. Okay, so we were able to escape battle there. It is kind of weird, because if you end up in battle, then you're kind of locked into battle. You're not allowed to just go into locations until you either finish the battle or escape the battle. I don't know, it's kind of weird like that. Okay, what is that on the floor there? Okay, we got a portrait of some kind. Look at regular. Oh! Okay, so the game refers to regulars as people who could join your party. So yeah, that's Jimmy. Type regular. So, talk to Jimmy. Hi, what are you up to? Going on a trip? Yes. Have I shown you my weapons? I'm dying to use them. Yes. Okay. Join? Did that actually work? Oh, he's running a script so he can actually get his stuff going. Okay, we are now a party. So the way it works here when you have a party formed is you use the 1 through 6 keys to select who you're looking at in the party. So if we look over at Jimmy here, he's got not as much strength as I have, but he's got better aim, better speed, probably better equipment. And now maybe we'll actually have a better chance of surviving that dragon encounter. So let's save into slot 1, just so I know it's in there. And let's exit Jimmy's house and see if we can handle this. See if we can handle this dragon now. Okay, I already took 5 points of damage. Okay, this should be good for attacking. So I missed. Jimmy cannot actually damage the dragon. Oh boy. So one of the downsides to how the battle system in this game works is that if your attack doesn't get through the armor class of something, you just do 0 damage. So if the game gives you an encounter early on where you can't hurt the opponent, how are you supposed to actually, like, make any progress? Okay, let's see if we can get an encounter. I just started completely from scratch here. Let's see if we can get an encounter which is not a dragon, because a dragon seems like a very, very difficult thing to encounter this early in a sample game. Well, we gotta find a freaking encounter first. I guess while we're waiting for the encounter, one thing I should point out is that this game system does support multiple graphics modes, but the trick is that you have to have the graphics assets for it, right? So even though there is SVGA support in this thing, you can't use it unless you have an SVGA tile set to go with what you're trying to do. And in fact, earlier versions of this... Oh, I heard the red alert sound. Where is... Oh, there it is. So it's like a snake or something? So I guess... Okay, we've entered combat. So we've got like 4 snakes from the looks of it. So let's fight them. Let's see how well this goes. Oh yeah. That was a lot easier than a dragon. 1 hit from that 2-handed sword and down it goes. I guess Jimmy should probably stay where he is, maybe? No, Jimmy will move. Okay. And then this snake got closer, so... Yeah, that snake was no problem. Snakes are simple with these characters. Okay, I actually missed. Let's see if Jimmy can take out a snake. Okay, Jimmy is completely incapable of taking out a snake. Okay. Well, so you gotta love that it's using Windows 3.1 sound effects. Oh, and now all of a sudden we're playing a Flintstones game. Who knew? Okay, so let's get the stuff that was dropped. We got a small sword, we got a long bow, we got some food, we got a morning star, 68 gold pieces, and 4 rotten food. Probably don't want to keep that. Like, here's the thing, we got a morning star, but I don't know, like, what's better, the morning star or the 2-handed sword. Like, the game doesn't give us stats to go on to know, like, which is the weapon we should be using. Which, to be fair, that's not uncommon for games of this vintage to hide certain stats like that. But I mean, come on, we can tell how much armor class we're getting from the armor. Why can't we tell how much damage we're doing with our weapons? Even in the original Dungeons & Dragons tabletop game, you know how much damage your weapons are doing. Anyway, so you got a basic gist of what's going on here in terms of how this system works. So now let's actually go into the creation part of this adventure game system. So if we go DC World here, it's going to load all the same stuff, but now we're actually in the world editor. So like if we wanted to like extend off to the side here with this island, we totally can. Like, I mean, we have the ability to edit this world now. The thing is that a lot of how this system works is built into scripts that you have to write using a proprietary scripting language. So this is not an easy tool to use by far. Like, you really have to get into the finer details to really make much use of this thing. Like, making an overworld like this, or going into a location here and then being able to make this location, it's nice that the system offers you the ability to do this as easily as it does. The trouble is that, well, if you got something like, say, this cupboard here, well, the way you put things into the world is you use the put command, and it asks character or object, and when we say object, it gives us this full list of things that we can go through here. And again, you cycle through things with the plus and minus keys to be able to select these things. And while you can edit them directly, like change the description to something else, the trick now is that you got to do that for each individual thing, or if you have a particular setup for these to be specific things, you can set that up ahead of time. But then you also have to attach scripts if you want them to do anything at all other than just be set dressing. Not to mention there's no undo, so I accidentally just turned that cupboard into a chair. Yeah, that's not changing. But the reason it's done this way with putting and getting objects into the world is because you can see here it layered all of these different objects on top of each other, right? The only trouble is that as I'm picking them up, I'm now overwriting that slot in the corner there. So if I want to like put this weapon back down there, like it knows that it's there, it knows it's a small sword. So yeah, and then you push F10 and it puts the object down. You can't actually cancel out of putting an object down, so if you don't want to put an object down after, like if you change your mind after you're already going through the process, you still got to put it down and then take it away. But now I don't have all the other stuff that was there to begin with. Like I think it was like a bag of gold or something. And there's all kinds of other stats that you got to worry about too. Like we've got our world settings here in terms of the size of the map and everything. And then there's even a parameters section here so that we can adjust the various parameters of how the game plays through. And we can even see right here in terms of land-bound random monster generation that there is indeed a dragon there. I don't know how we can actually get details on this dragon, though. Like, there's a lot of stuff that this system does, which is hidden behind scripts. So you really have to learn its own flavor of scripting to be able to do much with this. Like, if we go into this building here, we know that this character, Jimmy, has a script assigned to him. So if we actually... how do you edit something that's already in the world? You know, whatever. We'll get him, and then we'll put him back in the world, and then we'll see that this character has a whole bunch of stuff attached to him. I mean, you can see there's a lot going on here. At least in terms of text, like this section here is just basically what keywords result in what dialogue is being spoken. And you can hit the F4 key to get the full list of everything that's recognized here. But the thing is that there's clearly a script involved here. In fact, it says right there, script Jimmy. So there is a script somewhere called Jimmy that does all those things we saw Jimmy do when he joined our party. And yeah, even the merchant that we purchase things from has a script assigned in order to do the buying and the selling of stuff. So a lot of the game is built around these scripts. And like, I mean, sure, there's a lot of them pre-made here, but it just means you gotta do scripting. So even though you've got this layer of being able to have this game system that's able to show these tile graphics and everything and handle certain interactions, you still got to learn a scripting system that's proprietary to be able to put anything together with it. At that point, it almost makes more sense to just build your own game yourself using a programming language you already know. But then I guess at the flip side of that is, if you've never programmed before and then you picked this up, well, then maybe this would make more sense to you, trying to figure out its unique flavor of doing things and then learning the scripting from scratch that way. But yeah, that was DC Games, a very competent program, really, when it comes down to it, in terms of being able to put things together. But there are some deficiencies. It's not perfect. And you do need to learn how this thing works pretty intimately to be able to build anything with it in the first place. So this is more like a really advanced tool that you could do something impressive with, but you are also limited by what it offers. So it's really tough to say, like, whether this fills an appropriate niche between someone who is actually a game developer versus someone who's not, or if it doesn't. Like, it's really hard to comment on this thing, really.